Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the Bag of Mice podcast. It's your boy, found the villain to my left. We got the one, the only Toes. What's good, man?
Hey everyone, it's me, Lack. So grateful to be here. Thank you for tuning in today. And like we always say, you signed the lease, your friends, your family, you're here to stay for life. There's no end clause on this lease, so you're stuck. But I just want to give some attention to everyone that's been commenting and interacting with us on social media, giving us inputs on what they like and or don't like about the episodes. We appreciate all of it.
Honestly,
it makes everything fun. It makes everything real. It makes like
very
it
real,
feels like I'm talking to you guys actually. So, but yeah, with that being said, we're gonna get into some stuff.
Big facts. Thank you for tuning in. Like the boys said, again, the comments, the love, it's always appreciated, man. Penguis, and Penne. If you've been following, she has a name, Penne. We out here.
Yeah.
But that being said, to switch it up a little bit, we just thought we'd give you guys some stuff. Granted, every other time we did this, it was sort of in the middle half of the episode. So for those of you who aren't watching longer, I don't know why you wouldn't be, but we're going to bring it up to the top right now. And Toast knows what I'm talking about. He's going to introduce to you guys the game that we've been doing, the game that we've been running for quite a few episodes now. So if this is your first time hearing it because you haven't been tuning in all the way, welcome.
Yeah, welcome. So the segment we introduced a while back are the bowl card segment. It's a bowl card segment, and it comes with 3 cards. So reflection, perception, and connection. We've been doing all 3 cards, and each card typically has 1 or 2 questions. Sometimes they relate. Most of the time they relate. Sometimes they're just complete opposite of each other.
Random.
Keeps it interesting. So exactly what it sounds like. So it's pretty clear cut, and the questions are always interesting. We never see them ahead of time, so it's fun.
Facts. Big facts. So that being said, I have the connections card today, so I will start with that, and then we'll keep it rolling. Let me see. Oh, what? If you had to teach someone how to attract the opposite sex, what would you tell them? And then the second question is, how do you handle conflict?
Okay.
Interesting. If you had to teach Lack gonna be a master at this one.
Nice.
If you had to teach someone how to attract the opposite sex, what would you tell them? What is the game? The card is trying to give y'all a free game today.
Card is free game.
Free game. How would you tell somebody to attract the opposite sex?
So you want me to go first?
Yeah, go first. Let's narrow the scenarios a little bit just so it's easier. Let's do obviously like our age group. So let's say like 25 to 32, 25 to 35.
Yeah.
And like everything's stable, working, out in like a general public space as far as attracting opposite sex. Yeah. Not gym, not like any of those like where it's like difficult to sort of pick up on cues. Yeah. Social settings like the collective, whatever.
Okay. Typically in those environments, and I always hear the advice of be yourself. Honestly, that's cool, but you have to know yourself in order to be yourself. So you have to figure out what some kinks in your personalities are, if you take rejection well or not, and if you know how to compliment somebody without sounding creepy or sounding like suggestive. Definitely start there, figuring out yourself first. I think that's what people mean when they say be yourself, but you have to really know yourself. But in those environments where socialing is encouraged, it's not that it wouldn't be that tough. For me, girls are naturally attracted to confidence, and warmth. I feel like in today's society where they get approached sideways a lot, approaching with confidence and kindness and just curiosity typically works out in my favor.
Fair.
Just like I would always start with a compliment, like, hey, I like the coordination, like the shoes you're wearing is like making it's giving, like it's matching your jacket. But something like that to where it breaks the ice in a way that's pleasant, and not just like I've seen a lot of videos recently where people like guys look up to girls like just try to confuse them and
try to confuse the women.
Yeah, like they'll be like, "Where'd you get that?" And then the girl's like, look in her cart, look around, get what? And then the guys all be like, all that beauty. I'm like, bro, like okay,
Imagine we're out here using tactics, bro.
Yeah, and
What?
there are like a few like fucking Instagram pages that's the only line they fucking use. It's
That
the
one
same line all day.
just get everyone's reaction kind of
It's
thing.
just so like I mean if he shoots 30 shots, he's gonna post 1 or 2 that hit maybe.
Absolutely.
So but I mean I don't always recommend that for everyone. I think it's people are naturally, especially girls in public settings, they're naturally more closed off because if you're a decent looking girl, you're gonna get approached
more often than not. I've learned and I've heard.
So just like that's where the courts of your personality I feel like could play in your favor if the girl is, and not every girl is going to be for you. You have to realize that too, because like let's say your banter isn't there when you're talking to her and you don't feel the interest or
the energy
and you can't get and you can't seem to escalate the conversation from stranger to stranger to man and woman, then that's kind of where you just kind of like chalk it and leave. But if a girl's receptive, turning her body towards you, smiling and answering all your questions, asking questions back, I think that's very important. I think then you don't play it out too much. You get the number, the Instagram, and you carry on the next day. Like, hey, did you get home okay? Or like, what you doing for dinner or something like that. But I like to play the long game. If I don't like to close, I don't ever try to close on the first time meeting somebody.
I think that definitely makes sense, especially if it's someone you see yourself like wanting to actually genuinely be with. It's like the long game is high-key the only way to go,
right?
Honestly. But I like what you said in the beginning about knowing yourself. That's so vital. Like this, the whole, because like to just go out there and be yourself. I watch anime all day and game and just and I also like, then the nerdy side of me, like the whole medicine thing, like not everybody wants to,
which is not, it's like a bad thing,
exactly,
but it's not everyone's cup of tea.
First at face value, it's like that's okay, cool, and it's like, so you really got to go in there with the confidence, like you said, and just you got to like manage, and we said this before, but like you got to manage the expectation, But specifically, how do you teach someone to attract the opposite sex? I think going into my big thing was like always the body language part that you were talking about. It's like, I have to kind of, it's weird. I have to like feel the energy. So if we're talking in the same setting of being out in like an open bar area, there's quite a few people are there to mingle. Let's say everyone's like just sort of open to communication. Like, I want to say now, but obviously in the moment it might be different. I have no issue if she's with her friends. It's like a group of them, whatever. It's like, as long as you can go there with that confidence, because the majority of the time I think that also shows the amount of confidence you have. It's like genuinely going up to the woman that you want to talk to, and then like obviously being polite and kind and keeping things simple. Like we don't need like you don't
need to confuse them.
We don't need to confuse them, bro. Like
the bait and switch.
Need to confuse them. Like the last thing I want you to be is confused. I want you to know why I'm here.
Right.
Like we just need to we need to get this little thing going, and then get the number and then peace out from there. So I 100% agree with you on that. And it's, if I were to tell, like if I was to genuinely tell my mans to. I think I'll tell him exactly that. I was trying to see if there was anything else to where like I can tell him specifically on how to attract the opposite sex, but honestly, just keep it simple. There's not that many things.
Simple and intentional.
Roll, and intentional. And it'll roll off the tongue, bro. Like the easiest, there was I think it was a social media thing I saw, and it was like 10 great ways to like start a conversation, and it was giving you it would give you some general stuff, then it would give you some stuff where it's per scenario. Like if you're at a concert for the first time, it's like, oh, how'd you get into this music? How'd you end up like getting to the concert? If you're with a group of friends or whatever. Or there would be like what's it called? What was the other one? It was just very, very generalized stuff of like how to open conversation with open-ended questions that lead to, they like, people like to talk about themselves. Give them some space. And
let's touch on like the do's and don'ts when you do approach somebody in a group setting. I'll just give a few. So do's, definitely introduce yourself to the rest of the group and don't just talk to her only. Like, hey, yeah, like shake everyone's hand. Like, hi, nice to meet you. What's your name? Like, so that you aren't too like the intention is cool, but being too intentional sometimes is like a little bit too off.
Yeah.
Don't linger after you get the number. Don't linger. Be like, hey, I have your number. I'll talk to you later. I don't want to take time away from you and your friends having fun, and then hit her up later. I think something like, but like I've seen it to where the dudes linger too long. And the girl's like, dude, is he gonna leave? I'm like, and once that question enters a girl's mind, she's not texting you back the next day.
Yeah, she's like, this dude needs to get it.
Curiosity is gone. Like your interest is gone because now you're showing that like you are way more interested in her than for someone that you don't even really know. So now like flags are going up.
Facts. Yeah. Ooh, I like that one. I'm trying to think of one. This one depends on the guy. It depends on if you can pull it off well. Might be controversial to some people, but like if there is one particular person in that setting that you want to talk to, don't be afraid to talk to other people still. Like and if I get heat in the comments, whatever, but some women, like, they would see you talking to another girl, and all of a sudden, if they see you having a great ass time over there, they're like, oh, I want him to. What's she laughing about? Right. Yeah, I need him to make me laugh. Like, type. Yeah. So just don't be afraid to, in that space, especially like after, like you said, like maybe like after you chat them, like instead of lingering, talk to somebody else. Talk to somebody else. Let her know like you're just an open person to having conversation with people, and that's completely fine. Like, it doesn't have to be. Now, if you're talking to someone else and her hand is like all over your shoulder and y'all are laughing a little too hard,
right? Yeah,
maybe give it a little bit of space, but don't be afraid to
like show your fun side, but also keep it
to where it's like, yo, okay.
Have some class, basically. And I will say this too: attraction is not always like, I feel like, because girls typically have their guard up, they will typically be interested or curious about you at the first impression. The attraction comes later on through more communication and more like hangout time. Because typically, honestly, if I'm switching place with the girl and the girl approach me, even if I don't find her attractive initially, it will pique my curiosity enough to where I will talk to her and I'll reply to stuff. And if there's something I learn more about her that makes her interesting, then cool. Like that's where the anime stuff comes in. That's where the doctor stuff comes in. Because like someone like Fawn, who is objectively attractive person, walks up to a girl and the girl finds him attractive there, and like can separate him from the rest of the crowd of just like, yo, it's just like another regular good looking dude that just like has game or like has a lot of confidence. But he's like, yo, he's actually has more depth. Like he watch anime and like he's very family oriented and like he's a doctor and shit. Like, I mean, like things like that where you can layer up
actually builds. I feel that. Okay. That's a solid one. I like that one.
Yeah.
How to attract the opposite sex. How do you handle conflict? I can go first on that one.
Yeah.
How to handle conflict. I don't necessarily do anything too particular. Now, conflict, of course, there's self-conflict, but I'm imagining if we're just trying to relate the questions, it's going to be conflict between two people.
Yeah.
To make it interesting, let's do conflict between man and woman.
Yeah.
How do I handle conflict? Especially with a female. If my blood is boiling, like if I'm getting heated to say stuff, I know I almost never yell. So my like screaming, arguing would just never happen for me, just because it's like my energy level of frustration versus like what I have to like scream and yell and like act out, two different things. So I would never be doing that. We're going to have to almost settle it in that setting though. Like we can't, as far as handling conflict, cannot be left to deal with hours later. Sorry, some people are very like, you know what, I need to cool down, come back. But I think because I try to keep my cool, like I'm actively thinking of everything that I need to think about, and I need to understand. My main thing is trying to get the understanding from the other side. I need to understand as much as possible to where I can like literally recite what you want out of the conflict to be able to handle it.
Right.
Which for me, like that's the only way to go about it. And oftentimes if like we take a break or we separate, come back, cool, there might be like, you might be, or I would say we both might be able to express ourselves maybe easier and like understand ourselves easier. But I feel like at the same time, the little bit that I would get from someone who's emotional in the moment is also telling of what they need. So to me, it's just like more like the real emotional everything, the real of everything you're feeling at the moment gives me hints of what exactly it is that you need to resolve this conflict. Because later, some people brush stuff off where it's like, you know what, I probably just overreacted and it was whatever. And now this is what I actually mean, where it's like, oftentimes it's like, no, you said what you wanted to mean. It just doesn't feel good now because maybe you said it in the heat of the moment. But it's like, we should use that. Both are good. I personally handle conflict in the moment. Most important thing is understanding the other side.
Yeah, I think that's because I am also like that too, where if I have conflict with my partner, I need to communicate. I need to work it out there, because some people are like, okay, let's just sleep on it. We'll go back. I'm like, you can sleep. You're able to go to bed.
This means nothing to you,
bro. Like the kind of dreams I'll be having if I go to sleep right now.
Fighting people in those dreams.
Yeah, no, it's not. That's not for me. I mean, like I understand how that could be perceived as unhealthy, and I'm sure on some level it is unhealthy, because if you do have a partner that needs time to process or needs time to work through everything because they're not super analytical. Like, I mean, I think I'm a pretty analytical person, so like I try to run all the scenarios like you said, like in that same moment. But some people, they're like, well, the scenarios I'm running in my head are just too negative and it's too overwhelming, so I need to take time to process. So I can understand how in some relationship that could be overbearing, but that is something that I definitely want to get better at, is like giving people more time to process and then communicate back, but also like being okay enough with my own thoughts to where like I'm not jumping to the worst scenarios in the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not jumping to the worst scenarios in the moment. I like that. Pretty solid for how to handle conflicts.
Yeah. What about with guys though? How do you handle?
We throw hands. we hooks, jabs, uppercuts. Nah. With Mandem, it's like I don't. Funny enough, I don't think I have as much conflict with guys. This is gonna sound crazy as I do with women. If I were to, I just can't. I can't remember the last time I had conflicts with either. But I would most likely guess it was when I was in a relationship, maybe, versus like having a conflict with a dude. One, because with like all my guy friends, I don't think me and you have ever really had conflict.
No,
maybe,
not anything like significant enough to where like we had to like sit down and like talk it through.
And like really go through it. So we would have like stuff to that level, but I would say compared to the amount of conflict I would have with like a female, whether it's my sister or what's it called, my partner in a relationship, like I feel like those are always for some reason like significantly, like at least judging my frustration, like I feel like I'm way more frustrated in those situations. So I've never gotten there with any guys.
Pause. That sounds so funny.
Pause.
That sounds so funny.
I've never
gone there with any guys.
Yo, pause. No, but like it's just with the man them, I don't know. I just never really. Yeah. It's just by the time. I'm trying to think of a reason why. I don't even know why. Yeah,
I feel like I mean, I know for me, like I've had conflict with guy friends, and I don't know. Maybe it's because it doesn't happen for me as frequently as because I do have more conflict with my partners. Yeah, like conflict to where like I feel like my head's gonna pop off my fucking
aggravated,
like, bro. Yeah, exactly. It's because I feel like with my guy friends, as close as most of us are, most of our interactions are pretty surface level, and we try to keep things fun, and we do try to like. Because we try to keep things kind of carefree.
I see. So you're saying like the level of depth between like each of you guys isn't as much as like with your partner. So there's not too much wiggle room for there to be like enough conflict.
Like we don't put. I feel like we don't put ourselves in those situations. Like we don't go for the same girls. Like we don't ever contend for anything to where like it's like it maybe in video games, but like other than that, like we never fight over anything. Yeah, so it's like
fight. Well, whenever you're actually fighting, if you had conflict at the gym with people, like yo, like why are you doing that? Or like,
I mean, I've had conflicts with the MMA gym. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
So like it's more like I feel like as much as hands-on that sport is, when you do have conflict with somebody, like because you both can hurt each other, there's no point of going there because now like you kind of have a winner and the loser will always be sore about it because like now like it's like you're now what do we prove that you train longer, you train harder, like you're better than like, but that doesn't resolve the conflict. Usually we talk it out, but I've seen it to where people have beef from whatever previous past, and because of open Sunday sparring, like Sunday sparring, like where it's like open mat, where everyone can and any gym can come through.
Oh wow, dang.
Yes, I mean that's every gym does that. Or if you're a good MMA gym, you need to do that.
Open day. Yeah,
you need to do that. And in Oklahoma it's usually Sunday. Like to where like people will come through, and then the way they spar, something's going on.
You notify demons.
You know something's going on. Like
interesting.
Let's see what like for example, Kayla, her fiance, Blaine.
Yeah.
We were talking about the old coach.
Yeah, how he was fighting them.
And we were talking. Yeah, like the way they were sparring.
Oh, you could tell that they were sparring.
Like, there's some bad blood for sure.
Fair.
Because every time Blaine would come off the mat, I think all we heard was, "I'll knock his fucking head off," some shit like that. But yeah, it's usually like that. But we try to resolve it through talking, and I think that's something that's like people get too egotistical about. Yeah, it's like always trying to throw hands first.
Yeah,
because like it doesn't show you much. Like it shows brute strength, but doesn't show intelligence.
And then that'll just further rile somebody up.
Yeah,
it's like
the conflicts too there now because like you have friends at the gym. Like now your friends are gonna like have to pick side or like not or like
just pick the whole environment.
Yeah, like it just fucks up the dynamic.
I see. Okay. That's interesting take. Interesting take on conflicts between man and woman. Let's go with your cards, the reflections.
Yeah. Reflection.
See what the reflections are saying.
So, reflection card. Who do you most frequently compare yourself to and why? What's the first question? Should I read the second one too?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And then the second question, which parts of your life or self do you compare most often? Which parts of your life or self do you compare most often?
So who do I compare myself to? Go first. I go first.
Yeah.
Who do I compare myself to most often, and what parts of myself or life do I compare? Let me see. Who do I compare myself most often to? Sadly, this is an answer to the question, but like I don't think there's any one person. I do find myself comparing myself to people a lot, especially people that I perceive to be like better than me at something. Yeah. Which a lot of people, which not in like an envious kind of way, but just like almost like an admiration. Like I wanna, like if I could add this character from that person, to like my personal character, I feel like I would just be a more courageous guy or like confident person, or like I would move different. So I would say, and that just goes for everyone around me and also people that I meet. So for you, like I talk about you and Drew and you guys a lot just because, or you and my brother a lot because of like the vast amount of knowledge that you guys have about everything. Like those types of things, you know, I mentioned before. One more recent was shout out to Mary and Clyde for just getting married. The traditional wedding was an amazing time. Yeah. We just came back from that. But Clyde's best man, the boy Mike, cool fucking guy. Shout out to Mike. Yo, what up, Mike? Mad fucking cool. He has this like when you talk like this mellow confidence, like that's how confidence should be. Right. I would say, like, man's everything he does, you can tell that he just does it with like the intention and mindset of like, okay, this is gonna work. Like, he was the best man, and he was just like knocking, like the way he was carrying himself, doing everything. He was never running for anything. He was never like running around racing or like trying to do too much. It was just always like had a game plan, would set it down, it happened. He knew like everyone that he knew, all the moving pieces he needed. He knew like everyone that how do I even describe it? He's from Dallas, so he also knows a lot of people in general. Yeah. But he just knows how to make like any of the functions work. Whether we were going to the spot and we needed like a last minute table, or like needed something in that way, or whenever we needed what's it called? We got a party bus like that for the wedding, and it was the right kind, date, time, everything. As far as moving people out the hotel, like the way he just handles situations, the manner in which not even just like his ability to plan stuff, but the way he's able to just keep cool and handle the situations, I'm like, I need to adopt that. I need to be able to just like be mellow, be cool, and like handle just everything as if nothing's even like, I don't know. But that's just an example of like whenever I'm comparing myself, I'm like, I like that. I like that about this dude. I met this character. I like that piece about him. I wish I could be that way. For the sake of comparing, I'll be like, it makes me think of how I handle conflict, but handle like situations like that. I'm like, damn, do I look like I definitely
look that composed?
I'm like, I definitely don't look that composed when I'm doing this shit. Maybe I need to fucking actively think before doing it like that. So yeah, I compare myself to people quite often. No one particular person though.
Yeah. But. No, I did read I heard this podcast. Now I'll put up the thing right here, but it's about how to leave a great first impression. Okay. And basically the girl was saying that pretty much every underlining like great impression that was left was someone that that helped other people around him felt like at ease. Okay. Yeah. So like that's where the charisma is. Like that's where you can meet somebody that is confident is cool, but the ability to make somebody feel like you can handle the situation and like and they can have confidence in you handling it without any hiccups. Like that's the key to making somebody to making yourself like very likable. Yeah. Yeah. That's really deep. So I can see why you took a liking to Mike very early. Like now Mike's around, everything's cool.
No man, like Mike, that's everything cool. Was. Sheesh.
Nah, that's dope. Nah, bro, that sounds like a great wedding though. Sounds like everything. Bro, sounds like a lot of moving pieces. Everything was going great. Was
flowing, man. Yeah. No, the wedding was fun. The whole thing, beginning to end, all the functions too. He handled like, cause he's from Dallas, so he handled like all the after party stuff. Oh, and like nice. He was just, if there was like a little confusion about where to go, which spot, he would just host something at his crib. He would hold something at his crib. Same moment he's planning it, you just see him like on his phone. He's like, bet the cleaners are already gonna come tomorrow morning, so everything is sharp. So that way, if you want to do something the next, I'm like, bro, that's how you get shit done.
4, 5, 6, 10 steps ahead.
10 steps ahead for real.
No, that's awesome.
Any one person that you compare yourself to?
I would give a similar answer. I don't compare myself to just one person. Usually it's like people I meet and I see qualities in them that I want to have for myself. Because I think that's the whole thing about my personality is like I like to mimic. I like to mimic other people when they do something that I believe is like of good quality or good intention, or portray themselves in a way where they're solid in their thinking. Okay. So not any particular people. Like I feel like this answer I'm about to give is similar to an answer I gave before. I feel like I'm like myself. My personality is a composition of like qualities of my friends, like people I've met throughout my life, from the way I talk to how my perspective on things. Because I think I grew up really hard-headed, and I still am like very stubborn too. Honestly, I'm just still very stubborn, but I can't even talk around that. I'm just really I'm really stubborn, but I'm really stubborn in the way that like I don't want to ever be like living a cookie cutter life. Like I would always go out of my way to get new perspectives and compare those perspectives to the ones I already have. And if the new ones are better and improve, I will adopt those. Because I mean, for a while, I thought the best way I could live life is to make a lot of money and just gain as much status as I can. And if everyone around me respect me and looked up to me in that way, I'll be happy. It wasn't the case. I mean, I never got to that point, but just the glimpse of watching how other people around me maneuver, it wasn't for
that's
me.
not
Like I've watched a lot of very, very successful people become very unhappy for whatever reason, because that feeling of success it's not long lasting.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, if anything, I probably compare myself the most to how I used to be, and I make sure I don't dive back into old
Fair.
habits that are bad for me, or if I used to do something that's very beneficial and I stop, I tend to look back, because that's the respect I'll have for myself is understanding that like I have good enough core values to where that version of myself, even if it wasn't the best version of myself, was doing something right.
I like that. That's a necessary comparison too. It's vital to be able to look and compare yourself to the past you. It's like yeah. Okay. What were we saying with the second question?
Second question is, which parts of your life or self do you compare most often?
Which parts? Mostly I don't know if this would fit, but like the social parts. For me, just because like I always grew up thinking, and I believe I still kind of am to a degree, to be like socially awkward. I don't have any like social anxiety. Like I don't panic in social settings, but I still actively have to think about a lot of the moves I make whenever I'm out socially.
Yeah.
So that's just that realm of my life, I think, is what I compare the most. Like the example is like the example I just gave now. Like I was looking at Mike the first time I met him, and I was like, the way he handles himself around and like settles people, like you said, as far as one of the best qualities is to keep people at ease, that all those that are around you. It's like I always compare how I am socially. I don't have much of a, what's it called? Like, I don't care enough to compare myself intellectually to people. Like, just simply don't care enough to compare myself intellectually, physically even. Like, I'm not, just because, I mean, everyone I'm around is physically adept in some way. Like, I know I'm not gonna fucking go to BJJ with you and roll and do some shit. That's it. Like, but that's I know I'm not gonna like lift like how the twins is lifted, because Doe too also lifts pretty heavy. So I'm just like, everywhere I want to kind of compare. It's like I don't care to do that. But at the same time, I know that I have some qualities as well that I try to focus on, that I like, and like that's it for me. Yeah. So the only thing I think to compare is like just the social aspect, just because that affects, I think, I would like to say majority of people, that affects majority of people the most, is like how you interact and like vibe socially. Yeah. Like a lot of people might say, like, as much as you want to say you're a homebody, you're going to leave the house one day. Yeah. And the day you leave the house, your mind is going to be running about how you are and how you're presenting yourself socially. Yeah. So it's like, I just do that more often. And so it's
a muscle you have to work. Yeah. I think that's like one of the skill sets that we lack these days. Like a lot of people, socializing.
Social skills.
Yeah, social skills. Like, just because we're in an era of like being on your fucking phone all the time and like interacting with people through the comments or whatever, through chats or whatever. True. You know, like not everyone you fucking meet in person is gonna drop fire emojis under your pictures. You know, like facts. Like, I mean, it's one of those things where like, when we had Lauren and Lynn on, they're like, I was like, how do you approach a guy? Yeah, like, we don't. Okay, like, so when you find a guy you really like, what do you do?
Nothing. I was like, well,
yeah, I mean, yeah. So at the end of the day, like, it's important. It's important.
That's fair. Yeah. So yeah, just socially. Anything for you as far as what parts of your life or aspects that you compare yourself with most?
Yeah. Experiences. experiences, because I every I I've thought about like everything that I have in my life, tangible and intangible, what's most important to me and what is most valuable, and it always comes down to just my family and my experiences in life. Because I feel like with experience with family, there it's my time with them is limited, and with experiences, I can never have enough, because with experiences come new perspectives, and those perspectives could maybe help me shape myself into who I want to actually be one day. And and honestly, I'm not even exactly sure who that is, but I'm not gonna know if I just sit around and just wait for things to happen to me. I want to make things happen for myself and travel to places that I'm uncomfortable traveling to, or talking to people that I typically don't talk to, or just things like that. But I like to compare my experiences from this year to previous years. If I've done enough, if I've ventured out and I put myself in enough uncomfortable situations to where I can look back one day later, like later one day, and just say like, yeah, I if even though I went into it nervous or whatever, just kind of like for example, like the Vietnam trip coming up. I've been talking about, yeah. And as excited as I am for it, it's actually extremely nerve-wracking for me, because all the stuff I actually want to do for the trip, not just going there and vacationing and just like looking around and just whatever. Like I want to make something out of it. So that's pending.
Pending. What's good? We're gonna get some stories for that real soon. Y'all gonna have to wait a little bit, but we're gonna get some hella stories. Sick. I like that. And now, last but not least, we'll do the perceptions card. 2 questions. Yeah. Talking about animals. If animals could talk, which is funny because of that other thing we just posted the other day, the real talking to animals on babies. If animals could talk, which do you think would be the rudest? That's funny. And what animal do you think embodies my personality the most? So I guess I'll ask you, and then you can answer both.
Okay.
If animals could talk, which one do you think would be the rudest?
Damn, rudest.
Yeah, I have a simple answer, but if I actually think about it, I think there's definitely gonna be more rude animals.
Rude isn't like they never want to fuck with you. Like
I would say like they'll say some shit.
Yeah, I would probably say honey badger would be the rudest.
Honey badgers,
bro. They fight lions. they literally fight lions.
They don't care. They're about that life.
Yeah, like they're and like though one of their main food sources are venomous snakes. They're immune to snake venom. Like they'll literally take a nap after they've been bitten.
Damn.
So like they don't give a fuck. Honey badgers do not give a fuck. So that I feel like those motherfuckers would be the rudest. Like, get the fuck out of my way. Yeah.
That's so interesting. I would say, I wanted to say a cat, because cats just they're domestic already.
Yeah.
And they already have so much attitude, and they can't talk. They have so much attitude already. It's like, what are we, like the amount of videos you see online about cats, it's like, bro, what is this cat doing? Why is it like this? Cats attacking their what's it called, owners and shit, just for no reason, bro. Those things.
Some people are cat people, like heavy, and I can understand, like cats are cute. Cats are very cute.
Yeah, when they're cuddly and stuff.
Yeah, I like that they're like lower maintenance than dogs. They take care of themselves, but at the same time, like, bro, shit. I don't like bro, cat claws scare the fuck out of me.
Yeah,
them little shits.
Whenever they like,
bro, like
extend
when
them out.
Yeah,
oh
I'm like,
mother. What is that?
Yeah.
Honey badger is a funny answer though. So what would you say? What would you say, or what animal do you think embodies my personality the most? What's your Chinese New Year's sign?
Ox.
Buffalo. Oh, you like oryx,
bro? Or I like right oryx. No, literally.
Ox. Okay.
For I'm trying to think of a very. I would say like a I don't know why, but like a beaver.
A beaver.
Because they're very meticulous and they're very anal about their setup.
About their stuff.
Yeah, like they're
their acorns and shit. Aren't beavers the ones that like acorns?
No, those are squirrels. Yeah, the one that builds the dams.
Oh yeah.
So they're always yeah, they're very
the ones that be
yeah. They're very meticulous about their living space. Like if they like the sound of running water bugs the fuck out of them, and if you like, and they're very meticulous about like how they build their dam. So I feel like with you, like how you live, like you're very organized and you're very meticulous about how you want something. You always shucking wood. Okay. These shorties.
Crazy. No, that's nuts. Okay. That's pretty cool. Beaver's not bad. Beaver's a sick animal.
No, they're cool.
Dang. For you, I would say like those two animals I had in mind. But now I'm thinking if there's a better animal that embodies what I'm trying to grasp. So the animals I was thinking were like one, an elephant, because they're also pretty meticulous, especially for their size. And I was using elephant more in a metaphorical sense, in the way that like their pace and the way they grasp information, because I think elephants are one of those animals that like any new like especially when they're migrating, any new environment they're in, like they take their time and they just study the entirety of everything. So I was thinking that, and then I was also thinking dolphin because of the intelligence.
Oh, I appreciate it.
And then now I'm thinking of something that can put the two together, but I'm not sure. But those are like the two animals that I would say that I would think of first for you. Elephant, I was just like, because of it, I'm trying to think of how I would explain what the size metaphorically symbolizes. Because you have that confidence, but it's not like, I think we talked about this before. It's not like the loudest or most obvious. Like when they say elephant in the room, like you're not the elephant in the room with how you are and how you present. But like you can be if you wanted to be. Hiking, you can be with the way that you interact with everyone and the amount of knowledge you have. You can be easily. But you're not like that. So I think that's where like that elephant mentality came from. I'm trying to think of another animal, but I can't think of one.
I'll take elephant. I love elephants.
Fair. And then for some reason I was thinking Gapsia would be a flying squirrel.
Gapsia.
For some reason, Gapsia just be sending. Either he sends it or he doesn't care.
Yo, he do be sending it.
He just sends it or he doesn't care.
He do be sending it.
He's just like, bro, leave me alone. And then just
yo, let me play the game, man.
So he's like, yo, leave me alone, and then just flying squirrel out of there, bro. But it's
nah.
It's just like he just does his thing.
That's funny. Yeah,
but then every once in a while, it would just be nice that he's around and he's just there. But then if not, off the tree and he's gone.
Yeah. No. That's funny.
But yeah.
But then what do you think Doe would be?
Ooh, Doe would be another metaphor: lion in sheep's clothing. Yeah.
Lion in sheep's clothing.
Yeah, because he's very mellow and you're not gonna hear much of him or like even understand or even grasp that he's there.
Yeah.
But then when you do, it's like, oh shit, who's this guy?
yeah.
Yeah. So
no, like the impression Doe leaves on people, it's lasting.
It's lasting. Yeah. But for you to get to the point to where that impression is left, it's like actually like he actually gives you a first impression. It's like that's where the sheep part comes in, because he's just like, oh,
he'll blend in.
He's chilling, because he wants
blend
to
in as much as he wants.
Because he wants to, he's chilling. But then when he's not chilling, holy, who is this guy?
Yeah,
get a load of that guy. But no.
Okay.
That being said, that was fun. I like that. The perceptions, I wanna. Well, no, the connections card do the same thing. But I want to say the perceptions card, most random questions.
Yeah,
I think, which if you want to think about it, like, perception, it is trying to gauge how you would perceive most things. So I guess it does give like more out of the box questions just to see how like we perceive stuff. But the perception cards definitely.
I feel like it's one of the most like volatile cards.
Yeah,
it's probably the most volatile card out of the whole stack. Because a lot of time we will get some random ass shit like it's like political shit mixed in with like family shit. It's random as hell.
Yo, yo, what's going on?
But that's cool. I mean, I honestly I've really enjoyed the. I don't know what we're gonna do after these bowl cards run out.
After these deck of cards,
yeah.
They don't have. I think you had looked last time. You said they don't have like other versions, right? Like no like adult version or anything, or like drinking version.
No, I feel like I found like another type of cards that are similar that another podcast called A Toast to Life.
A Toast to Life, okay.
Yeah,
that's
like A Toast to Life, right? But yeah, I mean. I don't know. I feel like it's one of these cards. Like sometimes they catch you so off guard with the kind of questions. Especially like the perspective is really trying to get perspective out of you.
Yeah, the perception is definitely like that's one of the ones. But I enjoy that about the cards. What's it called? I was gonna say, do you want to do? Actually, funny enough, we're leaving this in the episode. But if you guys are paying attention, cool. Love that you're here. Again, make sure you go check out, while we're talking to the people, make sure that you go check out the YouTube. My boys are putting in some work. Make sure you're checking out the videos, like the edits, everything coming out crisp. Audio listeners, sometimes we look shabby. Sometimes I promise you we don't. And when we don't, you want to see it. You don't know it right now, but you definitely want to see it. So make sure you're checking out all the videos, checking out the social medias, the IG, the TikToks, the Twitters, all that good stuff, and all the shorts and reels coming to you guys. You know, we're keeping them coming. It's gonna be a steady thing. And there was something that we mentioned we wanted to do last time, and that's what I was gonna bring up was we're gonna be talking to you guys more personally as well on IG. So I was gonna ask you wanted to just do a little video after this. And in that video, we could just do one random bowl card.
That'd be cool.
A random bowl card
I'm
to
down
throw
for
the IG.
No, I'm down for it.
Quick little like bang.
Yeah. No, I think
that'll come. I'll put that out like sooner than this episode comes out.
Yeah, I think that'll be cool because
it's windy.
It's windy. I think that's rain.
Oh shit! Yeah, rain.
Yeah, we have a tornado watch warning or whatever going on.
It's about that time, huh?
Bro, honestly, that shit is so triggering.
What?
Tornado warning, severe weather watch, all that shit right now. Because last month I lost 4 cars.
Yo, hell, bro. Yeah, it's triggering.
Yo.
Wait, I got to see the whip. The whip is here, no?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought the whip was here. I saw your IG. You posted it in Lexus. No, but I figured that wasn't even the one, no?
No. That I put a deposit down for Lexus, but by the time it comes in from Japan, I will be in Vietnam.
Oh no!
Yeah, so I told them I was like, hey, just keep the deposit. Keep it for now.
Yeah,
I'll buy the 2026 version when I come back.
Oh my fault, OG.
It was I think I put deposit was put down for a 2025 model. But by the time I come back in March,
it's already gonna be.
It's gonna the 2026 is gonna start shipping out in April. I can wait another few weeks and get
a 2026.
Yeah,
my man rolling in style,
rolling in the future.
I'm saying, my man is anticipating that hail gonna be anticipated too. They're gonna be we about to it's 20. He said 26. I ain't never hit no 26 before. You see how this shit?
Nah, bro. And that's one of the reasons why I was like, I don't think I should just buy a car, drive it for a month, and leave it for like 2 or 3 months.
For 2 months, honestly,
it's dumb. Nah,
just might as well come.
So
back.
I'm just gonna get it. I'm just gonna get it when I come back.
But we have been having. It was very windy today, and I anticipated. I didn't even check the weather, but I anticipated that that we were likely gonna get a tornado because I went outside. And I was like, yeah, it's doing its thing.
Yeah.
Stupid wind. It's raining, thunderstorming. Those of you who are out there, make sure you're safe, especially out in Florida. There's been a lot of hurricanes recently. By the time this comes out, hopefully all of that is settled, and hopefully we've had some safety and rescue. Get you guys the help that you need. But
hey, shout out to Steven.
Shout out to the boy Steven. Actually putting
search and rescues.
Search and rescue. I'm putting him safe, himself in the line.
Yeah. Front line. I love that Steven loves doing stuff like that. Yeah,
like he's
very
passionate,
into it.
Bro. He's passionate about it. All he wants to do is go out there. When I say out there, it's like wherever the danger is. High key a madman, but
bro, low key.
High key a madman, but
man
wherever
was flying
the danger
into
is.
Florida like 3 days before Milton hit,
bro.
Just to anticipate the hurricane, so he can go out and like
already hit
do the
too,
search and
so
rescue.
It was already bad.
Yeah. No. I was telling him, I was like, yo, like put me on. I want to do stuff like that too. It's like it's one of those things where I'm like, it's for the experience, but like doing like coming to somebody and helping them in those time, it's gonna be a great feeling.
Yeah,
it would be a great feeling.
Feel very good. Shout out to Steven. We're gonna see you boys next week. By the time this comes out, we've already been to Arizona and back. Yeah. But we'll give you a little recap as much as we can. And if you're paying attention, if you're on the social medias, you might get a little snippet what the trip was about. You know what I'm saying? You might even get more than that.
It's gonna be a fun trip, and we're gonna try to do an episode with everyone there.
Yes.
Yeah. So Steven. I mean, I feel like Steven's a character to like just talk to
in himself.
Yeah, because he's honestly, to me, he's only like 50% of himself on camera, because he's way goofier off camera. So I want to do these enough with Steven to where I just catch that version of him on camera one of these days, where he's like he's just like he's fully Steven, just like saying whatever the fuck he wants to say.
Trying to get blocked.
No.
Trying to get reported.
No, that editing is gonna be meticulous. gotta be careful.
Word of the day, meticulous. But make sure you meticulously hit that subscribe and like button, the notification bell, so you know when the boys are on. And then once again, make sure you're checking out all the videos, the YouTubes, the Spotify's, the Apple Podcasts. Leave a 5-star review. Let the boys know how they're doing. The comments have been lovely. Keep them coming. We'll keep reading them. And that being said, we will catch you guys in the next one. So till then, take it easy and take care.
Peace.